Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. My name is Joseph James. Welcome to our live trade and recap. May 6, 2011. Happy Friday to you guys. End of the first week of May. Biggest week on record. We've never had a bigger week in our live trade room ever than we had this week. Over $16,000. Guys, that's 1,600 ticks in 5 trading days. Now, we talked about how the month of May is supposed to be a great month for us, and we are definitely getting every inch of that here this week. So Friday morning, finishing up a huge week. We've made half of the profit we made in April in the first week of May, right? If you didn't believe me last week when I said month of May is going to be great, right? Obviously, we've seen some proof here this morning, and of course, this week's been a great week. Friday morning, non-farm payrolls. Now, today was kind of a surprise. Non-farm payrolls, we talked about it. Friday mornings are always a variable. The same reason why you and I want to get out of here and have some fun this weekend is the same reason why we've got to be careful on Friday mornings. We expect to see an early close to our morning on Fridays. But oftentimes, with non-farm payrolls on Fridays, we get an even earlier close. See, non-farm payrolls are notorious for being the big news event everyone's waiting for. And we usually get some really difficult price action right at 8:30. But then it will calm down a little bit, 8:45, and usually give us some trades we can take. Now this morning, we really didn't know what to expect, but we knew we were probably going to get some heavy volume at 8:30. 8:30 comes out, and we didn't get any volume. This was very strange. No volume comes out at 8:30 for non-farm payrolls. Unemployment rate jumped, well, it didn't jump, up 0.2%. Non-farm payrolls rising. So I think a little bit had to do with the fact that we had some, confusing issues here. Jobless claims, of course, or jobless claims, non-farm payrolls rose, right? That's dollar bullish. And of course, you had the unemployment rate rises, which is dollar bearish. So a couple bullish things for the dollar, a couple bearish things for the dollar, and I think people had already kind of priced it in this morning. So at 8:30 this morning, we didn't get the volume we were looking for. And we said, oh, great. So no volume at 8:30, nothing moving here at 8:30, so we decided to wait. By 9 o'clock, we had found a price channel on crude, and we had just broken the highs of that price channel. Now, I'll be honest, this morning, looking at crude oil, after that big drop yesterday, a lot of us were thinking, this price is probably going to try to come right back up today. In fact, we were talking about how most major money managers would have laughed at the idea of being short on crude, right? Because after that big drop on Wednesday and Thursday, we know we're going to expect a big pop back up. And we really did. We got a really big move back up. And we, of course, made some pretty good profit off it. But at 9 o'clock this morning, we found ourselves just below the 100 level. Now, what is the 100 level on crude? The 100 level on crude is much like the 1,000 level on gold, right? It's the big granddaddy of all big round numbers, all right? See, someday I'll be telling my grandkids, I remember the day when I bought crude at 100. Right? Just like my granddad said, I remember the day when I bought gold at 5, right? So we have these big round numbers that people remember. Well, crude oil, 100, it's the granddaddy of them all. So above 100, below 100, that's a big difference. So we saw the 100 level right above us. And at 9 o'clock, we're at the top of the channel, and we're buying pullbacks. Buying pullbacks at 9 o'clock with that 100 level right there. And so I took 3 swings at it. I tried 3 times to buy a pullback to get us to go up to that 100. All 3 failed. And so I'm going, what is going on here right now? It's a Friday morning, no volume from non-farm payrolls, the dollar was going sideways, and we had crude inches away from the 100 level, and we're not going to test it? Very strange. So at 9:15, we go, well, I don't know. We thought for sure at least one of those moves up would have hit 100. Didn't. They all failed. So we try to sell the highs. I try to sell the highs now at 9:15. Nothing's working. Right? Comes down, slops back up. So at this point, we got to wait. I took 4 trades, right, between 8 o'clock and 9:30. All 4 of them chopped me up, right? +5, -5, +5, -7, right? Small winners, small losses, nothing happening. And so we said, all right, well, let's not forget, the last 3 days we've had these really great moves after 10 o'clock. Maybe this will be another day. Maybe this will be just like Thursday, just like Wednesday, just like Tuesday. And of course it was, right? It definitely was. Chopped up before 9:30. I took 8 trades after 9:30 for 300 ticks of profit. This is a classic example of a situation where we tried our best to get in long, the long failed. I then say, okay, clearly the long's not happening, let's get short. We go short, nothing happens there. And I say, okay, well, apparently we're not getting price action that's very welcoming right now. This is when you follow your rules, you take the trade, you make the right decisions, but the market has a different point of view. And I can't change the market, all I can change is my decision to trade. So I take my hands and I sit on them, because now I'm going to wait for a clue that we're getting better price action. At this point, I've exhausted my options. Now I'm waiting for the market to tell me what it wants to do. So of course, here we are now. I'm going to break through 9:30. At 9:30 we chop around here, and by 9:30, where are we now? I'm at the lows of my channel. I'm also now looking for a two-step. But what do you see here? BMT, right? The BMT. Now what is the BMT? The BMT is the big money trigger line, right? Kind of a nickname we have for it. Now the BMT, in my opinion, is a great profit target, but not a very good place to enter a trade. And so we come down here to the lows here. We want to buy these lows. We looked for it, but it was very sloppy at that time, and we knew the BMT was probably going to be a problem. Now remember, put yourself in our shoes this time. We hadn't seen any moves yet, right? For all we knew, this might be a 0 day. Friday morning, didn't get anything from non-farm payrolls. It's now 9:35, and we're not seeing anything. We're trading yet. So we're still waiting for that sign. We're ready to go, right? We're waiting for crude oil to grow a personality. And that's when it happens. At 9:30, we don't jog, right? We run above the BMT. And that's when we all said, all right, speed's picking up. Big buyers are here. We blew right the BMT, which remember, we had just watched it fail, right? We just watched the BMT hold right there. So this was now very encouraging. Once I make it above the BMT, I'm going to buy a pullback here, with the intention, obviously, of buying those lows and taking it all the way up to the highs. And that, of course, is exactly what we did. So at 9:36, I didn't get the whole move out of it because I had to wait to see the move happen first. This is a great example of where you're not going to get the whole move here, right? I had to wait until we got going pretty fast. You can't see it here, but there's a pullback on your 4-range chart right about here. And we'll go up to the highs of the wedge. So we go +5, +11, +24, 10, 21, 45.